Moin, I'm Catherine, and today I'm in bed with Adam and Keegan from Yes We Mystic, one of my favorite bands. I'm not lying here. And so I'm very, very happy that we're doing this. We just did a fantastic session that I'm going to link in the corner. Also a fantastic session with Devarrow, and they played something together, and this is all going to be somewhere in the corner. Just check out the info.
He's still sitting over there like a
yeah. That's why I looked in that direction.
He's here for moral support now.
Yeah, exactly. And now we're going to do the Reader Problems book tag, and I'm going to link the original video from that tag in the corner too, if I can find it. Next question is, I'm not sure if you two have that problem. The covers of a series you love do not match. How do you cope?
Like
the physical copy covers, and I totally understand that problem. That drives you crazy. Me too, because it has to. It has to look good on the bookshelf. I mean, that's what we buy books for, to have them look good on the bookshelf.
It does drive me crazy. My favorite series of biographies that everyone that knows me knows is about President Lyndon Johnson.
Okay.
And they're very, very well written. I didn't give two hoots about Lyndon Johnson before reading these books, but they're just...
so it's a series.
It's a series. So the author's now in his 80s. He's been working on these books since the 70s.
Okay.
And I guess the first one came out in like 81, but he started in the 70s. And so he's got 4 volumes, like 3,000 pages, and there's one more coming. And oh my God, I sound nuts, but they're actually really, really interesting. And he's had the same publisher the whole time. So you'd think these books would come out and the covers would all...
Yes.
And more or less they do, except they just be like, so you put them on the shelf and it's like, this one, the name of the author's here, and then the next one is just down a little bit, and then the next one's up at the top. They're all this...
Why?
And you see they've tried to a point to make them graphically look the same.
Yeah.
Because the new one that came out a couple years ago, the cover looks like it's from the 70s or whatever as well, except just not quite enough. And I don't get it.
Me neither.
Why do you do it? Just make it
I like that. It makes you furious.
The books are all the same size. It's not like they change. I don't understand. But anyway.
Yeah.
So
it does bother. Yeah.
I just whine about it on camera. That's how
that's how we cope. We whine about it on camera. Perfect. You?
Yeah, I think I would find that pretty annoying. What was the question again? How do you cope? I don't really think I've had that problem. I think it's like because all the book series that I've read are usually like when they've the series has been out for a while and they've like reprinted it and they've really taken graphic design into account.
Because didn't that happen on like this or just our last tour? The book that you brought along, you said that you bought a slightly more expensive copy just because the cover was less shit.
Yeah, I'm reading It by Stephen King right now.
Okay.
And I bought a slightly more expensive, like I could have bought a copy for like $14, but I bought like the $22 one because the $14 one was hideous. And it's just like, I don't want to be seen reading this stupid book. So I bought a really cool one where it's like an all white cover with like a red nose and like a scary clown smile. It's
I love that cover. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's you feel better reading a good looking book.
Yeah.
I also like when they reprinted like all of Cormac McCarthy's books, and they all have a very nice cohesion, and I read a lot of Cormac McCarthy, so.
Okay.
I enjoy, it makes you feel good. It's like, yes, this is a Cormac McCarthy novel, but so I haven't had that problem yet.
Perfect, because you just avoid it. Perfect.
Me now. Okay, so everyone and their mother loves a book you really don't like. Ooh, who do you want with over shared feelings?
Well, there's nothing more fun than everyone likes a thing and then you and one other person doesn't like a thing and you just get to complain about it. So what's the question? Is
everyone?
Who do you go to?
Who do I go to?
Who do you go to when like everybody loves a book that you hate?
It really depends, I guess, on the book. I'm sure me and Keegan could have fun complaining about. That's never happened with books, but it used to happen with episodes of the show Doctor Who. We'd have the exact same reaction. If there was a good one, we'd like it for the same reasons, and if there was a bad one, it would be like everyone else. We could, it would be like it was a bit of like I didn't think that was so bad, but we could always just sit there and it was like talking to myself in the mirror because we had the exact same opinions on it. So that with books, I really just don't find myself like the books I read, I get made fun of because no one else reads them really.
Okay,
so I don't have that like. Yeah. But actually, if I met anyone, there was I started reading a biography of Harry Truman.
Okay.
Because it's supposed to be one of the best biographies ever written. And it was so boring because it was like, Harry Truman was so great and he was so nice and he was such an upright guy. And then there's one part they're like, and then he went to a meeting of the KKK. Okay, and he joined the KKK. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Now this is interesting. This guy is a piece of shit. And then the author goes, but he probably just didn't know what it was. And he's a good guy. And I go, so I stopped reading that book. And if anyone out there has read that book and wants to talk to me about how stupid it is, please give me a call because it's very, very. Actually, I think it was on Goodreads that I saw this review. And everyone loves this biography, and I wanted to throw in the trash. So yeah, I would love to complain about it.
So did you write around on Goodreads, or did you just?
It was just I was looking up other because after I finished these biographies on Lyndon Johnson, I was looking for something else. Because it's not necessarily that I love the genre of biography. I think, like most people, there's a lot of boring things, but it's just this one guy and the way he writes. So we have a couple songs based on his books, and his name's Robert Caro. Okay. He's just written.
We actually thank him on the album.
Yeah, he was an influence. So yeah, I think I'm just on the search for more like that, where it's like really.
So leave some comments.
Yeah.
Leave some comments under this video.
Someone really knows how to spin a story out of the true things that happen to somebody. That's what I'm looking for. But don't glaze over when they join the goddamn KKK. That's terrible. You gotta tell me that's terrible. Yes. Don't glaze over that.
Don't glaze over that.
Anyways.
Yes.
Sorry, what would you do if this book is, what was the question?
Who would I turn to? Yeah. I think find maybe someone on Goodreads or on BookTube who didn't like it, or make someone read it and tell them they have to hate it. And then, something like that, maybe. Yeah. But can we just go back to the Doctor Who? Are we all on the same spot on the Blink?
That episode,
Blink episode,
being the best one.
That's like the best one.
It's
it's one of the best ones.
Top three.
That's like.
You got Blink. You got Vincent the Doctor, and you have the Doctor's wife for the top three.
Okay. Thank you. Back to
you and I are pretty much on the same page.
Back to the question.
For me, it's like I've only had this happen to me a couple times, and it can be like really frustrating. Yeah. Because like you always sort of feel like you doubt yourself, and you feel like I'm missing something that's like really clever. Like there was when I was in high school, I think a lot of people in my group of friends really, really liked this one. Like young adult writer, like young adult fiction writer who I won't mention.
I'll ask you after the camera's turned off. Yeah.
You might want to. And it's just like they were all just in love with his books, and I was like, this guy just keeps writing the same book over and over and over again, and he's tricking everybody, and it's just like it's sentimental. Oh God, I hated it so. Like I was like, now I'm really afraid. Yeah, I read some of it, and it was just like, ugh.
Oh no, you said fantasy.
No, not fantasy. Young adult fiction.
Young adult fiction. I'm afraid to ask now. Yeah, but we'll talk about it later. Yeah.
So we can stay friends. Maybe I don't know. I don't want to.
I won't break a friendship over this now.
But it's like, and I would go to people and I would be like, yeah, you know what, right? And then nobody was really on my side, and everybody just thought I was being a curmudgeon. So I would just like look for articles, and I got satisfaction. I got satisfaction in like articles that were like just tore this guy apart, and I was like, okay, so somebody understands.
You're not alone.
Yeah, but
can you reach up to this book? Like, can you get there? Thank you. Yeah. Oh, it's not the bomb. Where is it?
Huh?
Did you take it down? It's here!
Oh my god.
Thank you. When I came into the room, it was the book on the top shelf. So yeah, okay. So you.
It can be a really frustrating feeling.
Because the funny thing is, when I came into this room this morning, I found this one, which is like the book Thief, and everybody loves this novel, and I hate it. Have you read it?
No, I have not.
Book Thief.
Probably no. So.
No.
I'm going to make both of you read it, and then you telling me you hate it, and then we're good again. Who's next?
Me.
I think this is taking forever. Should we maybe just do the rest another time?
Yeah. Why don't we finish off with one last one,
Yes.
and then we'll
And then
end.
I think at the end, then we each had two.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah.
So the final question here is: you're reading a book, and you're about to start crying in public. What do you do?
I was reading through this question this morning, and I tried to remember when this happened to me last. And I hate public transport. So if I'm sitting somewhere in a park, nobody's that close that they would see me cry. I think it hasn't happened to me in a very long time, but otherwise I would probably just hold the book up or something like that. That's a good thing with like physical copies, because an e-reader is not big enough to hide your tears, so physical copies go.
Your readers are not big enough to hide your tears. That's a good quote. I like that. What'd you do, Keith?
I don't know. I would just sort of like play it off legit. Like, I'm just crying by myself. What of it? I don't know. It hasn't really happened to me. Maybe I was like reading an emotional book on tour or something, and like may have like cried like in the van, but like nothing too dramatic.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's I'm pretty okay with people seeing me cry. So I don't know if I would attempt to conceal it.
Yeah, I think it would be fine to just let it go, unless it was a really stupid book that I was crying at. Yeah.
Okay, I can't cry over this.
Yeah, it's like, people can't see me cry at reading about Lyndon Johnson right now. But if it was like an emotional story, then go for it. That's all right. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. We're just going to continue with this next time. I'm just
All right.
and thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
I feel I like you even more now.
Oh my God. Thank you.
Bye everyone out there.
Teach us a regret. God's